Welcome to the Delvin Cox Experience, the podcast in which each week I'm on a one-man mission to unite our culture through diversity. I'm your host, Delvin Cox, and this week on the podcast, I have a special guest, one I'm super excited to talk to. She's amazing. She's awesome. She's beautiful. She's funny. She's laughing at me right now. I'm giving this long, cool intro of her. The podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. You know what? That has got to be the best intro ever. Because I've been interviewed a couple times. I've been on a couple podcasts. That's the best. That's it. That's the best one.
I usually don't give people intros. Don't intro themselves. You get an intro.
Yeah. Nice. Yes. Score.
Awesome. As always, like to start the podcast off with the 5 for 5. 5 questions, 5 answers to get the ball rolling. Crystal, are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it. Am I on a time limit?
No, you're not.
Okay. All right, I'm ready.
Right. Question number 1. What is the best album you listened to in the past year?
Ooh.
Doesn't have to be, by the way.
Okay, in the past year, the best album I have listened to, I listened to it late, but it was Janet Jackson's.
Which one?
I don't remember that it was the one that she put out, because I don't do names. I'm one of those people that I just don't names of anything, people, places, albums. It was Janet Jackson, and I actually bought it because nowadays you could just go on to things and just get the song that you like and pay like $1.99 or 99 cents for it, just download it. I actually bought the whole album. That's and cool. It was it was good. It was good.
I like Janet Jackson, so I accept that answer.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. Because I can't remember the last time I actually bought an album. So yeah, it was that one.
Question number 2. Give me your top 5 video games.
Top 5 video games. Okay. Dragon Age Inquisition.
That's a good one.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
That's a really good one.
Horizon. That story was so good. Tomb Raider, the first one, 2013.
Okay, I love that one.
Yeah. Top 5 video games. Her Story.
I never played that one.
Oh my God, you gotta play Her Story, Delvin. That is so phenomenal. So phenomenal. Her Story, Gone Home, and Civilization, the newest one. I think that's 6 or 5 or something.
6.
Yeah, 6.
Yeah. I like those answers. Okay. Gotta
Okay.
play Her Story.
Yeah,
probably
you gotta
download it on my phone. Okay.
Do it.
Dragon Age screwed me, so I'll probably never play that again. It completely screwed me.
What happened with Dragon Age that it screwed you? What? No.
I was 70 hours in the game.
Okay.
I love BioWare games.
Right.
My PS4 completely crashed. It died. All my saves were in the cloud except the Dragon Age one.
No.
Literally everyone was in the cloud except the Dragon Age one. I was like, I'm not doing this again. Peace out forever.
Peace out. Dang. I must have a bazillion hours in Dragon Age Inquisition. I've replayed that game so many times. Oh my gosh.
I was enjoying it a lot, and I just got so angry. I said, I'm never doing this again.
Yeah, you got to go back.
Never again.
Especially if you change your answers in the Dragon Age Keep for some of your key decisions in Origins and the second one. It will change some of the cinematics and the dialogue with certain people. So that's why I just keep playing it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And also, I got aggravated because there's one girl in the game that you can't romanticize. Like, damn, that's the one I want.
It's Liliana, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, I love her. I'm mad you can't romance her either. I get mad I'm like, I got a video game crush on Liliana for real.
Yes.
I romanced her in Origins, but I played them backwards. I played Inquisition, and then I went back and I played Origins and Dragon Age 2, and I was salty that I could not, more so after I played Origins and got her I was so salty. So salty.
I agree. Mm-hmm. Question number 3. What is the dumbest thing you've done as a kid?
Oh my God, there's so many. Wow. All right. It's gonna be a little bit of a story. So
that works for me.
I grew up in. I was born in Virginia, and then we moved at one point to Charlotte, North Carolina. So that area. So we were in this apartment complex, and we're kids, and we're bored. And this is when there wasn't a whole lot of all this online stuff. So you actually went outside and played. Okay, I'm a child of the 80s and the 90s, fam. So this is back in the day. Okay, when people actually went outside, you had to be home by dark, all that good stuff. All right. So In this, we got bored one day and we just decided to go wander off into the woods. So we're wandering off in the woods, being kids, playing around, and then we come across what we thought was a junkyard. Now, I swear to God, we thought this was empty. We thought it was there, nobody owned it. So we're being kids and we're just wrecking stuff. We're breaking things. It's like an old bus. We're like throwing rocks at it. And then out of nowhere, apparently it was owned. It was the property of a farmer and his son who appeared with shotguns. Oh. Literally, oh my God, no, seriously, got held up. He literally fired his shotgun in the air and told us if we moved, he was going to blow our heads off. Then we got the escort with these two dudes with shotguns back to the apartment complex. Yeah, my parents were not pleased. I was not,
I can imagine.
I got a boatload. Oh my God, I cannot.
Tearing up people's property.
Yes. I swear we didn't know. We really didn't know. That was it. That was the dumbest one.
Question number 4.
Mm-hmm.
What is your favorite book?
Ooh.
That's a hard one.
Ooh. Phantoms by Dean Koontz.
Okay.
Yeah, because that book, like I like scary movies and I like scary novels. I can't play scary video games for whatever reason. Like being in the video game, it's like too much. I can't do it. I check it out. But Dean Koontz's Phantom is the one book that scared the crap out of me. There is one particular scene in that book that it is a brilliant piece of writing and it has stuck with me through all the books that I have read. So I got to give it to that one. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Question number 5. This is everybody's favorite question.
Okay.
Because depending on the answer to the person.
Okay.
The apocalypse happens Walking Dead style. You can only take 5 things with you to go out into the world. People, pets don't count, obviously.
Okay.
Anything you want to take with you, you can take. What are you taking?
Does the thing I take have to be? Let me ask you, how sci-fi can I get with this?
Whatever you want to take, you can take.
Literally, like anything.
Anything.
So if I say item number 1 is a lightsaber, that's acceptable.
I will allow it.
Okay. I'm gonna need a lightsaber.
Okay.
Definitely. Yeah, I'm gonna need a lightsaber. I'm going to need oh my God, what is the name of this book? It's a survival book. And I don't remember that. I have it somewhere in my room on a shelf that is not near me. It's basically it's a little survival book that teaches you, like, if you're stuck in the woods, like what to eat and how to make things. It's a little survival handbook. I'd bring that with me. How many things do I get? 5?
5. That's 2 so far.
Okay. So I got my lightsaber. I got my survival handbook. Toilet paper.
Okay.
A lockpick set.
Okay. One more. One
more thing to bring out into the world with me. Water purifier, one of those little ones that you can hang around your neck.
That's good. Those are good answers.
Yep.
Like I approve of all those answers, and it's better than my friend B-Rob's answer, which was Plan B.
Plan B. That's awesome. Okay, fair. All right.
That was his answer.
Okay, I mean, what do you do? All right. That's it, just Plan B. That's awesome. Okay.
So, for those who don't know, let them know who you are.
I am. That's such a. Nobody. Authors never like it when you answer that question. My name is Crystal Storm, and I am an author, and I am a creative content producer. I write sci-fi novels, and I live stream, and I web design, and I put out a bunch of creative content. I do podcasts. I share my creative process with people. I am a content creator.
In the truest form. I mean, you create books. Yes. You do podcasts. You do funny live streams. Yes. Playing games. We play games on Easy.
That's right.
You are the epitome of cool.
Thank you. I grew up well.
So, first, how did you get into writing, for that matter? What
Always
brought you into that fantastic world of writing?
Always. I was when I was little, it was going to be two things. Well, I thought I was going to grow up to be a lawyer, hilariously. That didn't happen. But I always wrote. Even I think the very first serious story that I wrote was about a boy and his horse who walked around solving crime. That shit was so bad.
Who was solving crime? The boy or the horse?
Both. They were both solving crime, like together. And I don't even know. Like I remember this, but I don't remember why I had this idea. Like I don't.
I'm intrigued by this story of this boy and his horse. Walking around solving crime.
I'm glad you are, because I'm thinking about it now, and I'm like, there was another story that I wrote when I was in high school that was actually about a serial killer, because I was very into that. Like I was really into. I actually have 2 criminology textbooks that I bought on my own because of how much I like the subject. And I was going to write that story, and I actually might circle back eventually around to that one, the story about a serial killer. I like that one a lot more than the boy and the horse and solving. I don't even know what was going on there. Like I don't, like, I don't know. But yeah, it was just writing is just something that I've always done. It's just one of those things.
So how do you? Because you come up with a lot of creative ideas. Like for example, I'm reading your book, Synarchy, the first one.
That's awesome.
I'm loving it so far.
That's awesome.
You are a very creative person. Where do these ideas come from in your head, in the mind of Crystal Storm, shall I say?
Aliens, apparently, because I don't know, and I get inspired by the oddest things. I don't, playing video games or just my astrological sign is Scorpio, so I'm all into that weird esoteric like spirituality, and like if you're if there's a video about somebody think that there's a moon base on Mars, like yes, let's go. I'm all about it. I'm gonna go like check it out. So it's just I would say that curiosity is really where it all comes from, just about the world and about things and that. And one of the reasons why I share my process with people is because I love like wrapping ideas off of others, because then it kind of like helps me flesh things out. Like I wish I had done that for my first 2 books too, because I'm having so much fun with that now, just brainstorming with people about stuff, because then I get other ideas in my head. Somebody will say something and my head will just explode. And I have notes everywhere. It's bad. It's bad.
so let everybody know, because I just named the book, about what Synarchy is. How'd you come up with the concept of it?
Okay. So there's 2 books right now. Working on the 3rd, Synarchy Book 1, The Awakening, and Synarchy Book 2, The Ascension. So there's kind of 2 reasons that book came together. The first one was shout out to all the role players out there. I was a role player, and I was role playing in this really awesome game called Should I Bloodlines, and it was set in the 1920s, and it was one of the best role play games that I ever played online with a whole bunch of people. And my character was a mob boss. I was playing a dude named Stefano Terenzio. And we were having a lot of fun with that in that story. And then the actual book came about where I was just going through a really crappy period in my life. It was like I've had a low point, whatever. It was one of the low points of my life. And I was working on turning things around. And it was in my process of kind of reevaluating life and what I believed and, what I thought about things, that made me realize I had something that I wanted to say. And I wanted to say it under the blanket of fiction, because I feel like people are more receptive to hearing things if you put it in a quote unquote safe space for them. And I think that's what fiction can be. I think it can be very visionary, and I think it could be perspective changing, because when you open up a fiction book versus a nonfiction book or reading about somebody's opinion about something, you're in this space where you're kind of open to anything. So that's why I wrote Synarchy. So I took these characters that I had created from this role play, and I put them in this book that's about like aliens and spirituality and conspiracy theories. And so far it's worked. And I don't know how it worked, but apparently it worked. So yay.
Yeah, I find it cool. I think, I don't want to get spoilers, but my whole thoughts on it thus far is that it's different.
Yes.
And being different, especially in this case, is refreshing, because you have so many cookie cutter stories that we have nowadays, and it seems like creativity, for all extensive purposes, has died. And
yes.
This is kind of a breath of fresh air. Like, oh, this is different.
That is
weird. It's kind of quirky, but it's really cool.
That's awesome. And you know what? I appreciated that because that's what I wanted it to be. Because I'm like you, like I can't, like when I read books or watch movies or TV shows or anything, that's what I'm looking for. I'm like, where did all the creativity go? Like I get that most ideas are recycled, and stories have arcs, and there's rules of storytelling you have to follow. But as far as like the idea for stories, it's just like, where y'all at?
I've had this conversation with my friend Chalfie that
Uh-huh.
all the creativity seen in have left in the 80s. Because if you watch TV in the 80s,
Yeah.
the TV shows are vastly different from each other.
Oh my gosh, they are.
Like you have like Alf, that's about this alien from this planet
Awesome.
called Melmac that eats cats that just live with this family. Then you have Small Wonder about this robot girl who lives with this family.
Oh my
It's
god.
just so like vast. Then you have like, what is it, dinosaurs?
Yes. Yes. Oh my god, the dinosaur family. Yes.
Which is series has a very dark ending, by the way.
Yes, it did. Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did. But but yes, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, it was. Things were just very, I don't know. I don't know if we're just playing it safe now or what it is, or it's just, with Hollywood, and they operate, I feel like it's just about money at this point, because if you know that something will make you money, they will do that thing to death.
Yeah.
To death. And we've tried to make, I say we, funny story is, I used to work at a small luxury hotel in New Orleans when I lived in New Orleans. And one day Billy Zane walked in. Very cool guy, by the way. Billy Zane's a very cool dude. Billy Zane walked in.
Let me clarify that.
Uh-huh.
Let everybody know who Billy Zane is, because I'm quite sure there's somebody who doesn't know who Billy Zane is, which is ridiculous.
That's ridiculous. Billy Zane is an actor. He was in Titanic. He was the villain in Titanic. You would probably most know him from that. That's Billy Zane.
The jerk.
Yeah, the jerk. He was the jerk in Titanic. He is not a jerk in real life. He is a completely nice guy. So he walked into the hotel with a guy named Aaron Williams. Now, Aaron Williams is an independent producer, director. He operates out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And Aaron came in the next day, and he was waiting for Billy, and we just got to talking. We literally, and this is shout out to all the writers. If you ever get an opportunity to talk about your book, do it, because you never know what will happen. So I just told him who I was. I told him that I wrote the book. I happened to have a copy on me, and I gave it to him. Nothing came of that for about 6 months or so. And then he called the hotel on a night that I wasn't supposed to work. Aaron did, and said, there's a girl who used to work there who wrote a book. Is she still there? And I'm like, you're talking to her. And from there, he was like, I finished your book. I loved it. I would like to talk to you about a TV series. Or I think the first conversation was a movie that we had. And this was 8-9 years ago. So ever since then, Aaron and I have been working to turn Synarchy into a TV show. And the interesting thing about this process has been, one, that we are very, 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 very determined that we are not giving away creative control of this thing, because we don't trust people. I certainly don't. I certainly don't, and neither does he. So we've had some light interest from some big names, but the interest has always been, we'll give you X amount of dollars for it, then we'll just take it and put our writers and we're just like, no, we're not. That's the deal breaker right there. Because again, I don't trust Hollywood to do it right. I just don't. I just don't. And it just feels like, things are they're so locked into their formulas, and they're so locked into, what they know will make their money, that they're just not taking chances on things. And that's sad, because I wish they would go out into the realm of like fan fiction or expanded universes, because there's some gems out there, and just be like, hey, that's a really good idea, or that's a really creative story, and just make the damn thing. And let's just see, let's put out something new. Sorry, I went on a whole little rant there. I apologize.
No, this episode is about you. You can say whatever you want to say. I'm not going to get in the way of any of your rants whatsoever.
Yeah. So that's but I agree with you. I would love to. That's why I liked Netflix being in the arena, because Netflix was putting out some weird stuff for a while, like the OA. I don't know if anybody watched the OA on Netflix, but you should have. The OA was.
I watched it.
You watched it. Okay. The OA was weird as hell, and it was so freaking good, I thought. So I want to see like more of that, where Netflix just walks into a room and drops like $1 billion, whatever. I know they were like throwing money away, like first couple of years like it was nothing, just on these shows. And I would love to see more of that. And now as competition is heating up with all these streaming services, I want to see more of them do that because I want to watch something new.
Yeah, I think we're getting to a point where people want something different. And even like everything right now is basically just retreads of everything. Even if you look at the Marvel movies, which I love to death, Marvel movies are just a retread of the comic books. So it's not like it's anything new. They're telling stories that we've been hearing for 20, 30 years. They're just putting it on the big screen. Like, here you go. Here's Civil War. And while it's seen through to some people, us comic people are like, we've seen this story before.
Right.
So,
Right. Yeah.
So I think that it's important to have people like you out there kind of pushing the boundaries of creativity and doing their thing. And it's going to pay off. And I appreciate you doing what you do. That
is awesome. Thank you. That is very humbling. Thank you. It's a lot of pressure, Delvin.
That's a lot of pressure. I think it's like I said, it's not so few people doing different creative stuff. So when it actually happens, like for example, the Harry Potter series, when it came out, it lit the world on fire because it was different than everything else that you were seeing, really. And even Twilight, for people who not Twilight, and they have valid reasons.
Right.
Kind of different from what you see. It was, and that's why those things kind of catch on.
Right.
So let me ask you some questions. I got some funny questions for you.
Absolutely, let's do it.
What was your first successful writing project? Well, I say successful. I don't mean like it made you $1 million, but just something that
I
like,
wish.
Okay,
I wish. My first successful writing it was Synarchy. It was definitely Synarchy. And I have there is a lot I didn't know when I first published that book. Like I picked the wrong editor and all kinds of stuff. But yeah, when and the reviews on it, I swear to God, they're not all family. Like I actually took the book on like a book tour and got like people I swear to God, I don't know these people, to read the book. And I was even going back through and reading some of the negative reviews on it. And even those I thought had something of value to say about it. So I was really like, even when people don't like, even when people didn't like it, there was something that I could pull from that criticism. So I thought that, Synarchy, the first Synarchy book was definitely my most successful because I learned so much from it. I learned so much.
Okay, second question about this. What is your worst writing experience?
Ooh, what is my worst writing experience? Trying to write this damn third book. That has got this has been it's been, when did I release Synarchy book 2? Like in 2012. So what's it been? Like a lot of years? Yeah, no, I released that in 2010. So it was 9 years. 9 years writing this damn book. This would be it. It's been a journey trying to get this one out. And I don't know why. But we'll see.
Okay, what's the weirdest thing you had to write in terms of being a writer? What's the thing like, you wrote that? Uh-oh. That laugh tells me it's going to be something that's going to be wild.
Yeah. So I wrote for Dark Brain Comics. I used to write for Dark Brain Comics. And if you're not familiar with Dark Brain Comics is an X-rated comic company.
Oh, doctor.
Yeah. So I don't know what I can and cannot say on this show, Delvin. What was
whatever you want to say.
Okay. So I wrote a comic and it was called Pissy Pussy. And and it was, wait. Oh. It was, I wrote a lot for him. It's hilarious, but this is the funniest one. And it's about a cat that comes to Earth, but she's got like this alien, like master / sidekick that's like a blob, and he has tentacles. And I think his name was Bob. And at one point, Bob gets laid, and I had to write the sex scene for that. So I basically wrote tentacle porn.
I want people to look this up. You
can. I don't know how many of the ones that I wrote are like still available, but it's called Dark Brain Comics. I wrote Pissy Pussy. I wrote The Butcher. I wrote Envoy 82. I wrote a bunch of stuff for him. But that Pissy Pussy was absolutely the weirdest shit I have ever. I wrote tentacle porn. I remember writing this going like, I don't even know how this would work. I don't know. I don't even know. I don't know how they're having sex. I don't. Is he thrusting? Is he wiggling? Like I don't.
Pissy pussy.
Yeah,
I can't believe that was a
yeah,
name of a book.
It's, I mean, like, if you like, what is, I don't know what cat porn's called, but I know it's like a big thing, like Anthros or whatever. If you like that Anthro stuff, then it was like a Sunday comic, and it was just like the adventures of Pissy Pussy, where she just goes and she like fucks a lot of dudes and gets into trouble. And
All right, let's change gears a little bit. Even if I can't right now, I'm still laughing. But what got you into gaming?
Okay, so that's a fun story. So I had always been like a gamer, but like a little one. So like my childhood, I played Zork, I played Myst. You played like Super Mario Brothers, Mortal Kombat with my brothers. So I was like lightly into the gaming scene as a kid. And then I kind of got away from it a little bit. I got more into like role play and creative stuff like that. And then it was Dragon Age Inquisition Act. No, it was a combination between Star Wars: The Old Republic, the MMO, and Dragon Age Inquisition that got me back into gaming as an adult. Those two. It was playing those two, and then all of a sudden I was involved in the gaming scene again, and now I'm like trying to catch up on all the games that I hadn't played and stuff like that. So yeah.
Okay. Let them know what you mean by when you say we play games on easy. Let's explain that concept, which I think is pretty cool.
I mean, it's exactly as it says. I suck at video games. I'm just going to be real with it. So when I was getting ready to go on Twitch and trying to figure out like what my hook and my angle was and all that kind of stuff, I'm like, well, obviously we're not playing on hard mode. I'm not trying to like game competitively. I'm not, when I play video games, I look at it like this. Life is on hard mode. When I play a video game, I just want to go in like I am God and wreck shit and enjoy the story. That's why I play video games. I'm not playing video games for the challenge or any of that nonsense. I am playing video games to wreck shit, have fun, enjoy the story. So I play games on easy. That's what the channel was originally called. We play games on easy.
And this is why you're infinitely more smart than me. Because when I play video games, I never look at the difficulty. I just start playing, and then I get to a point where I get so frustrated, I want to throw the controller.
Yeah, see, I don't ever want to get to that point, because I have been to that point. Like, I remember Dragon Age Origins is a hard game, even when you play that thing on easy. So there were a lot of parts of Dragon Age Origin where I'm just like, fuck this girl.
It's very hard and very technical. Yeah,
very, 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 very. So I know a lot of gamers, like, I know they bemoan, like, video games getting dumbed down and all this or other. And I'm sorry, but I'm about it. I'm like, yes, hold my hand, because I'm terrible. I am trash. Like, I played Dark Souls just for the LOLs of it. Because I guess after you beat the first boss, you get to play with other people. So my brother was like, look, just play, because then once you get past the boss, I'll help you. Because he's super good at video games. Like, my brother is so good. He's like professional, WoW, classic, raider good, like all that kind of crap. So I think I died like 15 times before we had a death counter. So I was actually pretty proud of myself. I only died like 15 times on that first boss in Dark Souls before I got to play with them, the rest of them. But that was, so I just...
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
What has been your favorite game to stream thus far?
That's hard. That's really hard. So it's gonna be
I know you do a few of them. I know you do the FMV games too, which I love.
Yeah, I do. I love FMVs. Oh my gosh. I just now are getting into FMVs. Some of them are just hilariously bad and funny. And then like ones like Her Story are just phenomenal. So there'd have to be 3, because it was a combination of I loved it, and I remember that my chat really enjoyed it as well. So Horizon Zero Dawn was one of them. The props to whoever made that game, because that story was brilliant. Like, I need to go back and replay Horizon Zero Dawn, because I was so on that main story life that I skipped a lot of side quests, because I was just like, it was like reading a book. I was like, I gotta know what happens next. And chat really loved it. And then the other 2 would be Her Story and Gone Home, which both had beautiful narratives, especially Gone Home. Gone Home was brilliantly voice acted. and it's pretty much just a walking simulator, and it's so fucking good. Both of those were just a great streaming experience because everybody had fun and they were really sucked into the story, and it wasn't just me running around talking to myself while people have me on in the background. You know, it was a pretty engaging stream those couple of times.
Okay. I have a question.
Yes.
Have you played Mass Effect yet?
Absolutely. All three. Well, no, all four
you.
even. Yeah, absolutely.
I love you. That's awesome. Mass Effect's my favorite series. So.
It's your favorite series. You know, and it's hard because I didn't want to leave Mass Effect out because I'm thinking like I love Fallout 4 too because I love building shit. So I know everybody makes fun of like Preston and the settlements, but I'm like, yes, give me another settlement because I love building shit. But yeah, I love the first three Mass Effects. I loved. Yeah, I didn't like Andromeda. I'm not even gonna lie. But yeah,
that's
the first three.
That's the only one I didn't finish.
Yeah, I finished it, and to the point that I don't even remember what the hell it was about. Like
I don't think anybody does.
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't even remember like it was that lackluster to me. So, but the first three were. I'll replay those any day.
Yeah, as I was playing it, I was like, damn, where's Commander Shepard? I don't want to play with this.
You know what I'm saying? and you know, it hit so many, there were so many like good things that you could have taken away from that. Like to me, Jaal was a really interesting character because I just love the idea of this really strong dude who was emo as hell. Like that was awesome. Like Jaal was just like, just go murder stuff and now let's talk about our feelings. And I was just like, that's awesome because you don't normally see that in like video game characters, not dudes anyway.
Kylo Ren.
He doesn't count. Kylo Ren is a spoiled child who needs to get his ass whooped. I know we are now children of the. I know you're not supposed to beat your kids anymore, and I'm all about that. But Kylo Ren needs to get his ass whooped.
I agree with that statement 100%.
He does. Oh my God. We need to make an exception, y'all, for Kylo Ren. That's all I'm saying. Because he is literally a child throwing a temper tantrum. That's all he is.
So are you excited for episode 9? Is it episode 9? Yeah. Correct.
Yes, I am. I hated The Last Jedi. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I did not like it at all, but I am super stoked for
I despise The Last Jedi.
I despise it. And y'all, it is and people, you know, and I'm really disappointed in Star Wars fandom when it comes to the divisiveness of The Last Jedi. And the reason that I'm disappointed is I'm really disappointed in the people who dismiss people like us for not liking it because our critiques aren't valid. And then I'm just as disappointed in some of us who have been critiquing The Last Jedi because of the Mary Sue thing. Like, shut up. I'm just tired of all that. But yeah, no, I just didn't. I think that Rian Johnson is super creative because I loved Looper. I thought that movie was awesome. So when I heard that he was going to be doing Star Wars, I was stoked. I didn't think we had anything to worry about. I was like, he going to do it right. Heck yeah. And then we got it. And I'm watching this movie and I'm realizing that I feel like some people are just too creative to play with characters that aren't theirs.
And that's exactly what I think happened. I think to add on to that, I think that if he would have been given an original Star Wars movie like Rogue One or something like that, he would have knocked it out the park.
Absolutely.
But because he was trying to tell somebody else's story and continue a saga that he didn't start, it's really disjointed.
Completely. And it was just, there were just things in that movie to me that just didn't feel earned. Like that scene where Kylo Ren is taking Rey to see Snoke, that elevator scene that's supposed to be a callback to Return of the Last Jedi. That's not earned. Neither one of those characters have earned that callback. So that to me just felt like fan service. It literally felt like he just thought that was a cool thing and he wanted to throw it in there. That was not earned for those characters yet. Luke's story.
Casinos thing.
Whatever. Yeah, it just wasn't necessary. He shrunk the world so it felt so small. And look, I have no problem with Luke Skywalker being a dick. I have no problem with that.
Me neither.
But That's interesting to me. It's very interesting to me that the guy who saw goodness in Darth Vader cannot see it in Kylo Ren is a very, very interesting story thread. But if you're going to tell that story, then it has to be the entire movie. Because the last time the audience saw Luke Skywalker, this is the guy who stood up to Darth Vader. Kylo Ren is not Darth Vader. I don't care what anybody says, he's not. He's just not that villain. So the fact that Luke Skywalker saw this darkness in Kylo Ren and had this moment was ridiculous to me. So if you're going to tell that story, you have to tell it. You can't just give me a 5-minute throwback and Luke talking about how he all of a sudden he's just arrogant and he got involved, which I get. Like, that's totally Skywalker. But that has to be the movie. You have to take me on Luke's journey, and he didn't have the time to do that. So,
yeah, that movie,
it was just
threw me off.
Yeah, it was just not good.
Let me ask you a fun question, so we got this depression Star Wars discussion.
Absolutely.
What's your dream project that you can work on? And like, if you could pick any project, Marvel, DC, to work on any project, any known property, what would you want to work on?
Star Wars.
Original story, or you want to write episode 10 or something like that?
No, I would, because I would. Oh my God, no! I would never. See, I'm one of those that I don't think I do well with somebody else's characters either. I'd want my own. I wrote hilariously when I was playing SWOTAR. I wrote a fan fiction that got so long it was like novel length, so I actually had cover art done for it. I would love to take that story that I wrote and turn that into a movie. I think that would be super fun.
Is there any way to find this story so we can check it out, maybe?
Yeah. You can get it. There's links up on my website. You can get it. It's all on Archive of Our Own. Yes. It is a very long. It's like 190 pages, I think. It's like a short. Ooh. It's like a little. Yeah, it's long. Because I love SWOTAR so well. The first 50 levels, anyway. I love SWOTAR so much. The IG it just wouldn't stop. I vomited that thing out so quick.
So let's talk about your website. Let them know about your website for those who don't know.
Absolutely. Okay, so the website is crystalsimagination.com. And the fun thing about the website is when you go to the website, I want it to be an experience. And so what I mean when I say that you go to your website, you got like the author bios, you got a link to their work and all that other stuff and blah, blah, blah. When you go to my website, if you go to the creative process section, you will see that I am literally sharing scenes of Synarchy Book 3 as they are vomited out of my brain. Now, anybody who's in the writing circles know that you're not supposed to do that. Well, I don't care. I'm doing it. I am sharing this book as I am writing it because I think it's a cool thing to do. And then if you sign up for a membership, you get to be even more immersed in the Synarchy universe because everything on the membership side is in character. Everything on that side is from the perspective of an SVT agent that is decoding documents, trying to figure out what happened on planet Daquin and what happened to planet Earth. Spoilers, y'all. I'm going to do some fucked up stuff to planet Earth in Synarchy Book 3. So yeah, everything on the membership side is all in character. You're uncovering documents and dossiers. And I'm providing like MP3 readings of some of the scenes, and I'm hoping to get some voice actors to join in and do it. And it's just a lot of fun. I really want to immerse people in the Synarchy universe. Like I said, I want them to have like an experience so they get like hyped about it and the world and hopefully have a little bit of fun.
Yeah, I think it's really cool because I've been on it. I'm a member. So when I went on, I'm like, what the hell is going on? Maybe I should read book 1.
That's awesome. I like that you had those questions.
Oh, what? I'm an agent and all this stuff is going on. I'm like, oh, there's working here. She's like has actual cool for book 3. I'm like, now let me start getting into book 1 because I want to fully get into the site after I read book 1 and 2 because it's so cool. It's so cool the way you've done it and the way you put it together. I'm like, this is kind of different.
Thank you.
And it's cool. I like it.
That's the point. That's the point. Yeah. Book 3 is something. Book 3 is going to be written so much that you could read it as a standalone. Like when I put out book 3, you wouldn't have to have read book 1 and 2. There will be some cool callbacks to certain characters and obviously SVT securities from book 1 and 2. But book 3 is a continuation of the Synarchy universe timeline. So it is set in 2019. And it is everything that has happened since and is kind of happening, quote unquote, now to Earth and some other people. So it's going to be fun.
Hold on. I'm not going to say that because that's a spoiler. But hold on. Book 1 is in But no, I'm not gonna say that.
Well,
Two different times.
Yeah. Book one, you can provide some timeline. Yeah, book one is leans very heavily on the mythos that was of 2012. Book two will take you into the past a lot. You'll get to see a lot of stuff that happened in the 1920s to set everything up. Just to give you a little heads up on that. And now we're kind of in the future. So, and I'm hoping I'll write it in a cool way to set up for the idea I have for book 4.
Cool. So, how far are you in writing book 3?
I am about 15% into writing book 3.
Hold on, you said 15%?
We're 15% into writing book 3. It's getting faster because it's been like 9 years trying to write this book.
That's what I was saying. Like 15.
Yeah. No, I actually anticipate that I'll have book 3 done by the end of the year. And you guys will get to follow along as I write it. So, and it's also one of the reasons that I'm doing that as well is because it's holding kind of my feet to the flame. Like I gotta get some content out. So now I gotta write. So it's been good to kind of push me out of my little, I don't know, writer's block, whatever you want to call it. So I can get, cause they're always talking to me. They're so loud in my brain. Oh,
So what has been your favorite part about writing these books thus far?
Writing really is a magical process. When it is not being a bitch and the words aren't coming out, you're not staring at a blank page wondering why can't I write. Creation is a magical thing. It just really is. There is, I know sex is great and all, but if you tried writing a book, like for like for real, like, it's just especially when, just having fun with it and just, being able to bring these characters to life, especially when the characters because I write very organically. I don't really outline. I have an idea of where I want the story to go, and then I let the kind of story take over. And one of my favorite scenes writing so far, I was writing a scene with Ladanya, who is the Nerozan, which means queen on Daquin, which is the planet that features heavily in the book. And she's supposed to fight these 3 guys. And in this scene, she's supposed to die. These are not, whatever, she's supposed to die. And I'm writing it, and I'm realizing that she's not going to die. Like, she is legitimately kicking their asses. So I'm like, well, how the fuck am I going to do this? I'm like, so I remember having to like pause and be like, well, it can't be, because my fucking biggest pet peeve with writers and people who make just all is like building up these amazing endings that end stupidly because for some reason you've made your villain so OP that you can't figure out how to overcome it. I hate that. Y'all seriously stop. So I was just like, well, it can't be stupid. It can't be like she trips or some dumb shit. So I had to figure out another way to do it, and I did, and I like it so much better now. So it was just like those are the awesome moments where scenes just run away from you, where characters just do what they want because whatever, characters just be doing what they want to do. So those are the fun moments.
That is awesome. And also, you need to make a shirt that says "Sex is great, but try to write a good book."
I got a merch store. On the website. I'm gonna have to do that.
Yeah. I just gave you a joke.
Yep. I'm gonna have to do it. I'm gonna have to do it now. You got it.
Definitely. So, we didn't even talk about one of the things.
Okay.
You've been on 2 shows that I love as a regular.
Yes, I have.
Who Will Win?
Mm-hmm.
What was that like for one?
Awesome. Who Would Win was fun. Who Would Win was one of the best things I ever did on Twitter was jump into a Who Would Win discussion. And that happened randomly. That was just like you're switching through your Twitter feed and all of a sudden you see it. And it was 2 characters, because I don't read comics, but it was 2 characters that I actually know. And I was like, okay. And I just jumped in the conversation, and then it kind of snowballed from there. Just meeting James and Jay and having that, really good rapport with both of them. And then all of a sudden I'm a moderator, and then all of a sudden I'm the moderator. So that was awesome.
Yeah, that had to be pretty cool. And I think I've had a pretty similar experience hopping in those threads and
you know how that
cool with both of them.
moderator
So yeah,
is.
definitely. And what has it been like working on What Happens Next with Jay?
That's been fun. When Jay, so the What Happens Next show with Jay, when it was the writers roundtable and we were just doing improv games. Oh my God, that was so much fun. That was just hilarious. I thought that was just so creative of him, and he's such a creative guy. Jay is such a sweetheart. It was just so much fun because it was just this goofy, like I'd never done improv before. So it's just a bunch of writers just sitting around with Jay doing some improv about like writing prompts. And it was just literally the best thing ever. And then doing some kind of, moderating for him on occasion for his new verses has been super fun. So I get to get my moderator hat back on. I get to try my hand at debating for the first time. So that's going to come up soon.
Yeah, that's going to come up soon.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody will be on that, you guys know.
Yeah, maybe we'll let you know about that. We'll see.
So, any final thoughts before we go, Crystal?
I want to thank you for taking time to have this amazing podcast and for inviting me on. And shout out to all the Delvin Cox Experience fans and to you for being a very cool content creator and an awesome Twitter friend. And thank you.
You can come on anytime you want to.
Thank you.
Like anytime you want to come on the podcast, you are welcome on. Open invitation. I've had so much fun doing this. This has been awesome. You are awesome.
Thank you. No, thank you. That's cool. So maybe at the end of the year, you'll have some insider knowledge about Synarchy Book 3. We'll talk about it.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. We'll do that.
Let them know where to find your stuff at, Crystal.
Absolutely. All right. So go to the website, like I said, crystalsimagination.com. All the stuff is there. You can find, like I said, Synarchy Book 3 stuff. You can sign up for a membership. You can find links to my Twitch channel. You can find the Woo Hour Vodcast, where I do one-on-one interviews just like Delvin does, but they're like, we talk about like astrology and UFOs and spirituality and shit. I do book reviews and movie reviews. So you can find all that content on crystalsimagination.com.
Also, if you need a website.
Yes.
Crystal knows her stuff.
Thank you. Yes. And I do web design on the side. That is tellarvisions.com/web design will take you to the side of my portfolio. I've got a web design course coming up that I would love for people to sign up for because I understand that we're all creators, right? So budget constraints are a real thing. So if you would like to learn how to professionally design your website, y'all seriously stop fighting with these fucking templates. Stop fighting with Wix. Stop it. Just please stop it. Let me take all this knowledge I have in my brain and give it to you. So please sign up for the course, or you can call me and I'll do your website for you. That's cool too.
I don't say this often on this podcast. If you're not following Crystal Storm, what are you doing? She is awesome. She is great. Follow her on Twitter. Check out her websites. If you need a website, holler at her.
At Writer Streamer. You can get me on Twitter at Writer Streamer, also on Instagram. I'm a little bit lazy on Instagram, but I'm on there at Writer Streamer as well.
Awesome. And as always, Delvin Cox Experience, and we are out. Peace.